Hello, and welcome back to Factorio Space Age. We've been puttering away at our factory on Novice, getting it ready to start shooting up rockets. And we want to move forward on that. So here's our little space mall that we've been working on, which is gamely loading up to build some silos. I still need to make electric engine units and pipes for this guy. And we need to worry about all of the rest of the materials for the rest of these. We have made our landing area, and this is going to require space platforms. So, a couple things here. These two, this guy requires engine units and pipes. Who else requires engine units? Well, these two do require engine units. Let's actually put the long-handled inserters in, and you are going to be engine units and pipes. Who else needs that? You need engine units. You're going to need engine units. Oh, and low-density structures. And you're going to need engine units and low-density structures. So the question is, do I want to put pipe on this or low-density structures? I think I'm going to put the pipe coming in somewhere else. Yeah, let's put the pipe on there. So this is going to be engine units and low-density structures. Let's identify the rest of the stuff that needs to come. Space platforms. Okay, do you require it? No. You do not require it. You do not require it. So space platforms are only needed by this guy. So I'm going to do the same thing I did before, where I'm going to move this away a little bit. Is he really the only one that needs space platforms? I guess so. Okay. You have all your inputs specified. Oh, you need low-density structures, which are going to be on here. And you need low-density structures, which are also on here. And these three are unassigned yet. Now, low-density structures should be down on the bus somewhere. In fact, if we look here, you can see the low-density structures should be right here. I don't know if they're needed for anything else. Now, I could have trapped them here and brought them over, but I think I want to keep it independent. So this little space mall is going to be just an independent source. Now, we're going to have the motors coming in from one side. So we do need to have a way of getting something here. Let's see. This guy, let's How am I going to do this? Well, that's actually simple. We're going to bring the LDS up here. We're going to bring the motors, well, actually, here. We're going to bring the motors across here. So this needs to be electric motors. Let's get the LDS so that's figured in. Going to do as before, bringing this down. So much quicker to do this way. So that'll bring LDS in. Whoops. I do need to set my undergrounds up. This guy may be in the wrong place. Yes, he is. There we go. So we're preloading these guys, and this is still waiting for the engine units. This is waiting for engine units. This is waiting for engine units. That's all ready to go. This guy's waiting for platforms, and this guy needs all the engine units in the world and pipe. Now for pipe, I'm thinking I'm just going to steal a machine down here and have you make pipe. How much pipe do I need? Well, everything else is loading so slowly. I'm not going to try to hit 2.5 per second on the pipe. Whoops. No, you are there. Dithering on the best way to get pipe into here. Yeah, given the location of the power, I'm going to bring you in like this. One further to the left. This is going to be my pipe, and this is my other stuff. Swap them? Swap them. There we go. So let me mark what this one is. We're going to be bringing him over here. This is pipe. Oh, I know what I can do. Pipe comes out here. And I'm going to do 2 machines worth of pipe until I know I need something else. You are going to require iron input. Well, I could bring in iron on one side of this, on the left-hand side, like that. That's iron. Pipe on the right-hand side of this. And now we just go, boom. That'll do it. And now we use a splitter to put everything back in the right place. Boom. There we go. The iron is going to go on this lane. So here, like this, so here to here. And let's see, we're getting our iron through. That should be enough pipe to keep us happy. It should be more pipe than that long-handled inserter can move, at least. Okay, electric engines. Hold on. Give us a little more logistic space over there. Actually, let's wait for this to fill in the other parts before we wipe this out. There we go. Okay. Certainly I left a big front porch here. Anyway. So I want to center my electric engine factory on this location here. What does it look like? Well, if I do electric engines, this require engine units. And then I do an engine unit over here. And if I look at it with the rate limiter, or the rate detector, it says these balance. I already knew that, but, you know, better to look at it that way. If I leave one gap in here, it means I can forward the engines like that. And we can take other inputs from here. So this is going to be green chips down here, and electric engines, motors, engine units up there. And let's get some power in. So the question is, how many of these do I want? I'm going to make it kind of long. Could do long, I could do wide, I could do long and wide. Basically, all the engine units that we can pick up with a long-handled inserter. That's going to be kind of a crappy rate, isn't it? Yeah, that is. Let's do this a little differently. I'm going to be bringing pipes in here. at least get a fast inserter doing this. Yeah, I could have put the pipes on the other half of this line at some point here and saved myself a little bit of anguish, but no, we'll just put the power in like that. Actually, I can put power in there. That's even better. Okay. Anyway, so the question is, how many electric engine units do I want? And what else do I maybe want to do with them? I'm thinking that we can feed electric engine units to another machine somewhere to make flying robot frames. We want to export flying robot frames. So I want to be able to do a lot of these. Which means what I really want to do is take this, flip it horizontally, put it out there. Which means this is just like the engine factory, except that I don't have the output down the middle. Where did I put that? Oh, that's right. The only engine factory I've done so far is down here. I think I can do this better than we have it here. So let's work out what the inputs look like given it's going to need to be 2. So we need pipe, gears, and steel on this. We also need iron to make the pipes and the gears. So I'm thinking iron and steel coming out on one belt, and then south here I will take care of making the other stuff. Put you over there just to remind me what we're making. Let's see. If I do this, put the gears in here, these guys in here. Pipes. And gears. I'd like to spread this out a little bit so we can put in plenty of input for the iron. Can it go one further to the left? It can. Get these marked right. And this is gears. So pipes and gears here, steel on the far one. Like that. I'm thinking groups of 3. Change power like that. Let's see. It's good. Now, the same thing on the other side. We're going to have to adjust filters. That. These are slow enough that I can use the long handle inserters for that stuff. Now, where do I want to bring my outputs down? I'm bringing a lot of this stuff to the table, aren't I? I'd like to bring my output down here. Let's just do this one-sided, and I'll do it long. I think I'm complicating things by going wide there. Okay, so if I move all of this over 1, these guys have to move back there. So the green chips would then go like that. That comes south. Look right. Kind of packed in. Kind of like it. And there is our electric engines coming south, electric engine units. Now, some of these are going to go over to this guy, and some of them are going to be going to our RoboPort, or I could put a different instance of this in for our robots. Now, if I share them, that means that while we're not building the silos and all of this stuff, we can build more robots. Okay, we're going to do that. Makes sense? Makes sense. Let's pick up this whole thing down to here. I do want to leave some space, but I think I'm deciding against centering it here. If I scoosh it down to here, that means I've got my ironworks pushed out to the south a bit. Is there anything else? That would complicate routing of the space platform. Let's put it where it's supposed to be. There. So that's going to have to get routed to wherever we're going to be making our robots. There. Robots will get on that for a bit. So let's see, inputs. This is iron and steel. And I guess iron, steel, and lube are the only things we have. Okay. I can get behind that. So steel is going there. Actually, still needs to go there. So the iron can go there. Robots taking away all of the stuff, all the rocks and trees. Okay. Oh, let's see. Electricity and sulfur. Now, electricity, we're trying not to depend on our robot stuff too much, but I guess, well, not our robot stuff, on our grid. Okay. Now this guy, I need to bring this down and get lubricant into it. So lubricant is right there. That's kind of an awkward place for lubricant to come out. Hold on. I think I don't really have much of a choice. We want to be, we want to be in step with the other one, so it's like this. There we go. So what have I done wrong here? Oh, I don't have yeah, so I did get some steel here without iron. There we go. So that should give us a small number of those. And they take a while to crank. Oh, I didn't bring in the green chips. Those coming in on this line. That'll do while I'm putting in the green chips. Oh, is it green chips on one side or both sides? Let me make sure. Just, yeah, okay, so we can just do green chips plain. Boom, boom, boom. Well, the logistic robots are really excited to help me, aren't they? Okay, so we're starting to get some electric engines down there. I think this is the level where I'm capturing to stock. I am capturing to stock, right? Ah, there you go, down there. So you need to go down 2 more jumps. So you are capturing electric engine units and putting them in the logistics area. And you're going to be getting half of what I make. Now, currently, we're still ramping up. What if I go to times 16 here? Looks like we're stable at whatever this is, 30-ish. Now, according to the rate calculator, so this says I used up 3 out of the 10 for these guys. So I can go to 10 machines here on this much support. I should have done it in groups of 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reorganize this a bit so we're in groups of 2. Oh, that's not going to work. So there's groups of 2 there. Close enough. These guys probably don't need more than just the one long-handled inserter now that I look at it. There. So lamps. Always on there. Always on here. Always on there. And now I can replicate this up. Need 4 more sets of these. And let's let it run. What are we getting up to here? 60 to 65-ish. Now, according to rate calculator, everybody's positive. Oh, we could actually go, we've got 12 of these. We could actually go to 20. Oh. I miscalculated in my head. Yep, we can go to 20 machines. So if that's 12, I can start from here. Oops. And do that. Get you guys to put things in place. It feels so weird not seeing the lazy bastard up there since I kind of raced ahead and then had to come back and redo this one. And by redo this one, it means I rewound to this point and wiped out what I'd recorded before. So we're going to be proceeding with this recording. I won't be playing any old video after this. So now, according to rate calculator, everything is perfectly balanced, and we are turning out 90 electric engine units per minute, of which half of them are being placed in our logistics area, and the other half are going towards making our rocket silos, of which we have none yet. Okay. We are going to let one get made and put in place, and it'll start making the second one. Actually, no, I am going to kill this. So once it has... Oh no, it had the ingredients in it for the first part. Oh well, it wasn't a whole lot. Yeah, so this will make one and hold, so I won't be consuming any more stuff. We want to now be making space platforms so we can get the starter pack going and have platforms ready. And I will be making a lot of space platforms. What does that look like? So space platforms require steel plate and copper cable. And the steel plate and copper cable are both fairly high rate. So I'm going to want steel plate coming out on one side, and I'm going to want copper cable being made over here, and direct fed. I'm going to be wanting to send this guy out over the top, so he's low enough rate. Copper cable, this guy needs 1.5, so one of these guys feeds two of those. Like that. I just had an idea. What if we do this? So this is steel plate coming from there. This is copper cable coming from there. And this is copper plate coming from there. Well, that should work. And just this guy here doesn't quite cover the world, darn it. That guy there does cover the world. Oh, I know what I can do over there. I'll put both those in, why not? Oh, these aren't covered. we go. Oh, wait a minute. This is just output on this side, isn't it? It's too bad I can't sneak the output back onto one of these belts. No room for it, though. Okay, so there's that. Now, depending on quantities, I probably could have made this just a single belt here. No, bring them up separate. Steel to the... Well, however the steel and the copper comes out, I can always jigger them around here. And I can separate these by one, which will make things a little bit easier. Yeah. Make it a little bit easier down at the bottom where I'm splitting the copper and the steel off, which are kind of adjacent. Now let's take this and make a bunch of copies of it. I'm anticipating that we need a lot of this. It's kind of like landfill in space. The downside of using a lot of this, though, is that your space platforms get more massive as they get larger, which means that either they get slower or you have to use more fuel. I think I'm just going to let the robots build the rest of that. Now, am I running more than half a belt? Been considered as transport belts 0.04, so we're in no danger of overloading that half belt. Okay, so there's that. Now you are going to need to be in... Yeah, you're going to need to be in the logistics network to be fed to the launchers, because we're going to need to be launching this as we build our platforms. So the easy way to do that for me is just to come down to the appropriate level and put in a fancy box. Now in this case, I am going to go from 4 stacks to 40 stacks because we potentially could need big bunches of that. Okay, steel on this line. Let's do it this way so I don't get bumped around as I move. So steel here. That's easy. Two over from that, we've got iron. Coming up on this. Hold on. No, it's coming up next to it. Okay. I'm going to bring the rest of them up to this point. There. I am impatient. Steel coming up. Copper, come on, copper. Except I brought iron up instead of copper. Okay, so... what we need to do here is pick it up and put it back down again. Everything along this line. There. That picks up all those belts that had iron put on them. Okay, all the greens light up. And these are waiting until they get enough copper. Holy smoke, how much copper do you need? So you need 20 copper cable and you take 10 seconds. So we're going to need to be just honking on this. Okay. But once they get going, it's stable. So this is Space Platform Foundation. So this seems to be running at about 72-ish. If I head up here, this says we have just enough copper cable and we are running our Space Foundation at 72. How about that? And now the platform starter pack is coming. And we have a storage chest up there. And we do not yet have the Prod 2 modules unlocked, so I'm not going to worry about productivity modules quite yet. I am going to schedule, going to map mode for this. So if you're in map mode, you can enter the unit and you can say, put Prod 2 modules in. You don't even need to know how to build them. You can mark that and those requests will stay there until they can be satisfied. There we go. And he's going to build. We're going to turn on the automatic requests. So if something in orbit requests something, then this rocket silo will act as a requester chest and will bring it in. It doesn't count as a requester chest for the purposes of the logistic network embargo. Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible to get it. But it acts like one, so we can have this requested in. Okay. With all that going, we pretty much need to wait until we have a rocket that we can launch. See, we've already got our second rocket silo ready to go here. I'm going to go ahead and place it. So what is the next thing we need to do here? This is send a space platform starter pack to space. And then opening this up is production of space platform science pack. Oh, build a asteroid collector. Okay. Can't build these yet. I'm looking to build a new space platform as soon as this rocket is ready. Oh, that's going fast. I didn't even have to accelerate this. Rockets really are much cheaper in space age. It's a good thing because you have to fire off a whole lot of them. Notice we finished a rocket. It's continuing to build the second one immediately at no pause. Excellent, excellent change. Okay, so now from map mode, I can say add space platform. And this, I'm going to name my platforms functionally. And this platform is going to be used for space science pack. So this is space science orbital. So it's going to stay in orbit making space science. So it has requested in its cargo. At least I think it requests in the cargo. Oh, this guy doesn't have any place to put output. Oh, okay, so, fancy boxes. You. Space platform starter pack. But I also want to conditionalize the rest of you guys on space platform starter packs less than one. So once I have a starter pack here, all of these shut down immediately. And notice how quickly got picked up and sent over once I had it in the logistics network? Nice, huh? There we go. We have launched a rocket. We have a second rocket ready to go on the second silo. There we go. I am just going to go ahead and let the other ones get fixed up as soon as we have the silos available. So we've researched the space platform. And the next thing we need to do is place an asteroid collector. I am going to go ahead and do that in this recording. Next recording, we'll start actually designing a real space platform. So here it is. Moving back and forth using these in the map mode works well, but if you Alt right-click on something, that sets a marker. Now you also go back to novice. There's that marker right there. I can also right-click on the landing pad here, and we got a mark for that. Let's edit this. I am going to call this, I'm going to go to space. I'm going to say novice. Actually, this is space facility. Actually, I'll call it spaceport. So we have a novice spaceport. We click on that, it'll always take us here. We click on that, it'll always take us here. Now I have this 6 set up here. We just need to place an asteroid collector. I am going to put down 2 of them like this. And I don't know where they're going to end up going, but we'll put them there. Now, it'll take a moment. We're going to have to request some cargo from the ground. So our options here. Asteroid collectors grab asteroids and bring them in, and then you take them out of the asteroid collector's inventory with an inserter and put them on a bus or whatever. Crushers. There's 3 kinds of crushers. let's center this here a bit. Actually, that can't be centered, really. I'll just put it like this. Basically, these have 3 recipes. I'm just going to expose all this stuff before we call it an ingredient. Call it a thoughts. Careful thoughts. I'm going to expose all this before we call it a recording. So the idea is that when these guys put stuff in, let me start off by doing that. And all these guys, we're going to be setting the filters so we're controlling what it is we grab. Currently, I've got the filters set to blank, so it shouldn't grab anything. And if it does grab anything, it won't put it out on the bus. What I'm going to do this isn't the real design, but what we do here is these are going to be picking up asteroid chunks, crushing them, and sometimes it will put one back out, and the rest of the time it will put out something here, which in this case is going to be, for example, iron ore. And that'll go out on this and around. We will have something that's much, much better than this. These guys do carbon. And these guys will do ice. Like that. Oh, and something I have forgotten until now is I do need power. I don't know how much. We'll just put in a bunch of power for now. And we are not actually making solar panels. Anyway, so those are the parts that we're going to be putting together to make a to make an orbital platform. We will be grabbing the various thingamies here and turning them into science and sending it down. Now, the asteroid collectors, it should be sending those up. Apparently, asteroid collectors also lack a box. Let's get those set up. I did want to record through getting all of those sent up. So you are thrusters, you are crushers, you are our collectors. Let's move you up to where you have power. Okay, so we have, at this point, sent up the asteroid collector, and it has been placed, even though it doesn't have power, and that unlocks the science. And to think about while we're getting ready for the next episode, space science requires ice and carbon, which we already have, and iron plate, which we make from the iron ore that we're getting. So we will be putting in a furnace and an assembler and maybe more than one of each. I don't know what our production rates are going to be here. Do we have furnaces on our hotbar? We do not. I am going to get a furnace in here so that we at least have some way of getting an idea of our production rates. And when we come back, I will have an idea in mind for how to design this so that our science gets put back in the platform hub so that we have enough power. I think I'm not going to bother recording building the solar panel array. That's just, get the stuff off the bus, make the solar. No. Nope, let's actually record that. I will see you in the next recording.